Hello there. I decided to make this video because a few people have been asking a little bit about cacao and how we can bring cacao into our lives in a way to really enhance our spiritual path and how we kind of enter into every day. So my understanding of cacao after working with ceremonial cacao for probably about 7 or 8 years now is that cacao is a medicine of truth and a medicine of the heart. So my first experience with cacao was in the powdered form. I began working with cacao as a superfood to help support my health journey. I used to have the powdered form made into like a hot chocolate drink at bedtime, and that was how I worked with cacao. Since then, after attending a cacao ceremony in Glastonbury quite a few, about 7 or 8 years ago, I think, I learned that cacao can be so much more in our lives. So we can work with cacao to support our health. And for sure, cacao has like over 300 vitamins and minerals in our body, including zinc, magnesium, phosphate, iron, vitamin C, sulfur, zinc, omega-6 and many more vitamins and minerals. Many of the minerals that are in cacao are actually what are depleted in our soil as well. So cacao really supports us in ways that maybe the soil is not able to any longer. So for women particularly, all of these lovely vitamins and minerals are really important to us, because in our lives nowadays, stress is quite a big factor, plays quite a big role in most of our lives. And so cacao has magnesium, which is one of the amazing minerals that helps to calm our nervous system, to just gently soothe our system. So really, my understanding of cacao nowadays, how I see cacao nowadays, is in my daily ritual. So I have cacao every single day. I tend to get up early in the morning and I have my cacao first thing. And to drink cacao in the morning in the quietness, and in the yogic tradition, this is called the Brahma Muhurta time. So the time when it's said that the veil between the two worlds is the thinnest, and we can really kind of sit and hear ourselves think. So I also find with cacao is when I take cacao daily, she really helps me to step into my creativity. So she helps my creative flow. She helps to really support me to kind of come from my heart every day, so that when I have my cacao, I tend to journal at that time, and journaling is one of the best ways of expression. And for women, particularly, really high level of women's illness or dis-ease is caused through lack of expression and not feeling that we're able to express our feelings. So I find that journaling alongside cacao really helps to unlock the heart, open the heart, and then we can give to the page, like what my teacher describes as to the body, from the body to the page. So we can write down whatever we're feeling and really kind of empty out before the day even begins. So for me, cacao is a gift to me each day, and really in its simplicity, sitting in the morning, lighting a candle, just sitting with my thoughts, with my breath, with my cup of cacao and my journal can be like the most beautiful start to any day. You might want to then move in to do your yoga, your dance, or whatever it is, whatever your physical practice is, take it out into nature. quite a few ladies I know that that take their cacao in a little flask and maybe take it outside and have a little like little morning ritual outside. So if I miss my daily cacao, then I find that my day is not so great. So I maybe just don't have quite so much of a good day. Cacao is, we see her as a plant teacher, a plant medicine. And what I found in my own life is that if I work very closely with cacao, she really aligns me to my heart. So I find it really difficult to be out of alignment. So if something really feels wrong with me, whether it is a situation, a person, a relationship, if it doesn't feel right, then cacao allows me to find the answers to kind of make that a little bit more aligned. So she's like a gentle teacher that just guides you along in your life. So although she is, I would say at ceremonial grade, she is a wise teacher, but she also will not let us get away with anything. So she will also kick our butt a little bit to do any sort of work or any realignment that really our heart is calling for. So she gives us the minerals that our body needs to calm the nervous system, to calm the emotional body, the endocrine system, the hormonal system. She triggers dopamine, which helps with if we suffer with PMT, with depression, and also with if we're going through perimenopause, menopause. Cacao really helps to keep our mood and our emotional body quite stable. So one of the other components of cacao is anandamide, which is one of the best things I think about cacao. So ananda in yogic tradition means bliss. And it is this lovely bliss molecule that sits underneath the nervous system. It helps to keep us calm, to soothe our system, to just really help with balance. And anandamide is also kind of unravels this lovely joyful kind of nature that our heart is really guiding us towards all the time. So it helps to really steady everything down. Stress maybe doesn't, feel so stressful. Things that we've got going on in our lives might not feel quite so stressful when we work with cacao. I feel that those quiet moments in the morning really allow us also to tune into nature, because what I also find that cacao really does is that she allows us to line up and align ourselves with the forces of nature and really look at how nature is always guiding us. It's always guiding us to look at what is happening outside of us, because that is what's happening within us, because our body is made up of all of the elements, and so we cannot be disconnected from the cycles of nature. So I find that in the morning time, again, to be my best time personally for me, because if I take cacao into my system after 12 o'clock, then it will actually disturb my sleep. And not everybody is affected in that way, but certainly I am. So really what our cacao daily ritual gives us is time to be quiet, time to hear ourselves, and actually that voice of intuition is very, very quiet. And if we don't give ourselves the time to be quiet, to be still with cacao or journal or oracle cards or our yoga practice, then it's really difficult for our kind of inner navigation system to really help us towards the situations, the people, the places that our soul is kind of guiding us towards. So I find with cacao, also there's two different heirlooms that we work with, and one of them is the Oh My Goddess brand, which is, I find, very grounding for my system. So Oh My Goddess is from Peru. It's a Peruvian blend, and just from my own personal use, I've found that the Oh My Goddess really helps me to ground, and I would work with that maybe around the full moon, or any time where my life is a bit overly busy. I may get up in the morning and feel like, oh my God, I need a bit of extra grounding. So that is how I would work with Oh My Goddess. Rise blend, which is again the other blend that I work with, that I have both on my website, is Ecuadorian, and I find with Rise is a lighter. So both of them very, very different in texture. So the Oh My Goddess blend is very rippled. It looks like earth. So I feel that it really, that is where that comes from as well, because it has that lovely ripple effect of all the layers of the earth. Whereas Rise is a bit more bubbly, it's a lighter texture, and I find it lifts my mood. So if you know, I wake up in the morning, it might be like the new moon, I tend to get when my energy is a bit lower, I'll work with Rise just to pick me up a little bit and just really lift my you know, just lift my mood. Rise is also really nice to work in ceremony. So if you're doing like any kind of ceremonial work, any magic work, that kind of thing, then Rise is really nice also for that. I find that the Oh My Goddess is a nice one for daily use. Well, both are nice for daily use, but just looking at your mood and how you're feeling as to which, you know, which brand that you want to work with. So really, what I feel is that cacao really leads us to our own medicine woman. So I really found that when I started working with cacao on a daily basis, it really helped me to see plants as plant medicine, you know, so that we see like all of our herbs and also like, you know, oils and aromatherapy oils as plant medicine. So these are here to help us, and it feels like, you know, we've got all of these lovely plants, and they're all here to help us. And it said that cacao was first used actually by the Mayans. The Olmecs actually is the first ever kind of tribe to have found relics of cacao use. So the Olmecs, the Mayans, the Aztecs were the first kind of tribes to work with cacao, and they work with cacao to commune with their gods. So really, just like we are doing in this day and age, really, that we're sitting with you know, our God, whatever that is for you, and we're just sitting in those quiet moments to listen, to really listen. So yeah, so the cacao in itself, it's said in the old tradition that when the balance between nature and humans are really out of balance, so we have this disharmony, which is really what we're seeing a lot at the moment, then cacao will really leave the rainforest to help bring balance to humanity. So from a point of view of preparing cacao, you can have cacao just with water, just with hot water, not boiling, don't boil it. You can make it in a pan, or you can make it in a blender. My recipe is 16 to 20 grams per day. If you are on antidepressants or anything, if you've got any heart issues, anything like that, then a lesser dose would be much better, so maybe 10 grams or less. I tend to work with around about 16 to 20 grams a day. If I'm working in ceremony, then I would use up to 30 grams for that. So to prepare, you can either prepare in a pan. I tend to chop mine up and have it in a big jar with crystals in it, because then it's easier on a morning, because again, you know, we don't always have the time to go through, you know, a full ritual of creating cacao. We might only have that short space of time. My friend Mari has a Thermomix, which we call like the modern day cauldron. So you could make it in a Thermomix. We could use just a pan with a whisk, or NutriBullets, those kinds of things, or a hand whisk. So they would really work as well. So we add our cacao in. I like to use either some cacao butter or some coconut oil. I like to put a little cap full of rose water in mine, cinnamon, salt and chili. And then if you wanted to sweeten, I would recommend into your pan or into your blender. I tend to use coconut milk because coconut milk is said to be an anupan, and the anupan from Ayurvedic tradition is said to carry the medicine to where it needs to go swiftly. So cacao is also an anupan, so cacao also carries medicine. So you can also add in other herbal medicines, so maybe things like chaga mushrooms, reishi mushrooms, lion's mane, all work really well. Even the batch flower remedies you could put in there as well, because the cacao will also help that flight to where it's needed. So once you've got that warmed through, whether you put hot water on or you're making it in a pan, you definitely want to whisk it up, because it's said that the spirit of the medicine sits in the bubbles. So it's really good to to bless your cacao as well. So while you're making your cacao, you might do a little bit of chanting, or you might have an intention in mind for that day. But I think it's really nice to have a little prayer or an intention when you're creating your cacao, and also before you drink it. So I can highly recommend Lynette Allen's book, which is called The Women's Blessing. You can also buy that on my website. And this has some lovely cacao prayer in it, and opening circle, closing circle. Loads of lovely readings as well for the day. So I'm going to leave you with a lovely prayer that you can use in your cacao daily rituals. So if you bring your cacao in, and I always like to align my cacao in with my heart field, so that it's said that this anandamide that is in cacao is also in our heart, and the only other place that it's found is actually in the human heart. So when those two chemicals, those two molecules come together, we get this little spark effect where the heart recognises, I see you, I recognise you. And so the body recognises cacao as itself. So again, it's that lovely heart, that heart opener. So as you bring your cacao into your heart field, just take a moment to gently close your eyes. You might want to breathe in the aroma and just take a moment just with gratitude for all the people that are involved in bringing cacao to our cup. So there will be all these people involved, the faces we will never see, the names we will never know, but we just take a moment to really thank and honour that. And as we begin a day, this day, and again, we start our day in a way that, we see this day as, today will never come again. So we can really make this an amazing day. We call the divine feminine, bring forth your wisdom, knowledge, and love to our sacred circle. We ask for your protection and guidance as we sit here together in peace and harmony. We open our hearts and give thanks to the Mayans and the Aztecs who kept the secrets of our sacred cacao. These secrets have long been passed down through the generations, and we honour you. We drink for all those who are lost, that they may find their way home. For our sisters who are chained in sorrow, we drink to release you. Aho. So at your first sip, welcome the spirit of the being. And at your second sip, feel a warmth and love from this beautiful plant. And at your third sip, invite your heart to open on this day. Set your intention and have the most beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you so much. And I'll send you details of my website is www.radiantwoman.me, and you can buy cacao there, you can buy Lynette's books there. I also run cacao ceremony training as well. So if you feel called to train, then I would absolutely love to work with you. Take care, lots of love. Bye-bye.